So hello and welcome to another week's analysis behind the news. And what a week we had for news, didn't we? From the racist killings in Charleston, to the call to erase American history, to the Supreme Court once again fooling all of America into believing that they can create law. Did you know the Constitution allows the Congress to limit the appellate jurisdiction of the Supreme Court? Look up Article 3, Section 2. This looks like a lasting constitutional solution to the mess that case law and precedents have established. However, let us focus our efforts this morning on the votes that Congress took to pass Trade Promotion Authority. In a nutshell, Trade Promotion Authority, or TPA, is an unconstitutional measure that delegates the responsibility of regulating foreign commerce from the Congress to the President or executive branch. For confirmation of this interpretation, look in Article 1, Section 8 of the Constitution, and listed there are enumerated powers that have been granted to Congress. One of these powers granted to Congress is to regulate commerce with foreign nations. But when you contacted your Republican representative regarding this issue, what was among the talking points listed? Let me read for you part of a response that came right from Congressman Reed Ribble's office. This is his response here. It says, because there has been considerable confusion about both TPA and TPP in the media and elsewhere, let me be clear. Should TPA become law, and this is bolded, it would give Congress significantly more power, not less, in the trade deal negotiations over TPP than it has now. No, Congressman, it appears that considerable confusion was passed along by you and many others after receiving your talking points from the U.S. Chamber of Commerce, the Business Roundtable, and from Speaker John Boehner. How is it that President Obama would ask for TPA if it was going to limit his negotiation power? Plus, why in the world would any Constitution-following member of Congress assume that the President has any negotiating power when the Constitution proves otherwise? Why isn't Congress stepping forth to rightfully claim the responsibility that they have been granted? And why are they following their leadership so blindly? However, we're asking questions that we already know the answer to. But most in America have no clue of the agenda that's been hidden from them. Now, we saw an article on Breitbart the other day that said Marco Rubio cast deciding vote for Obama trade without even reading it. The article stated, before the Senate voted on TPA to fast-track these deals the first time back in May, Breitbart News asked every Senate Republican if they read the text of the TPP before voting to fast-track it. Only a handful said they did. Rand Paul, Ted Cruz, Jeff Sessions, James Lankford, and Mike Lee went to go read it. Rubio, on the other hand, was one of the many who has consistently and repeatedly refused to answer whether he read the deal text. Perhaps Rubio subscribes to the line of thinking from Nancy Pelosi that we have to pass it in order to find out what's in it. But yet, there are some that are not following blindly. And that, folks, is one of the bright spots in all of this. While Congress as a whole has fallen down on its constitutional duties once again, there are several who step forward to challenge these elitist leaders. A large part of our thanks goes to Republican Senator Jeff Sessions of Alabama. He stood up and delivered to his colleagues the truth of what TPA and any following trade agreement means to America. Here are his words. It is essential that there be no misunderstanding. Fast Track pre-approves the formation of not only the unprecedentedly large Trans-Pacific Partnership, but an unlimited number of such agreements over the next 6 years. The nation has never seen an agreement that compares to the TPP, which forms a new Pacific Union. This is far more than a trade agreement, but creates a self-governing and self-perpetuating commission with extraordinary implications for American workers and American sovereignty. But yet, how will Congress and the American people put a stop to this when the media doesn't cover it, doesn't cover the implications of these deals, and doesn't report on who actually benefits from these deals? It's sad when we see foreign media do a better job at reporting than the American media. We recommend you Google the UK's Guardian newspaper and look for an article detailing how much corporations paid US senators to fast-track the TPP bill before their vote at the end of May. One other thing to think about regarding these agreements is to look at what is happening over in Greece right now. If the U.S. is involved in an EU-style union with socialistic countries that go bankrupt, how will the American taxpayer feel about bailing them out? Now realize that the John Birch Society has identified this threat to independence and sovereignty from these trade agreements for years. In fact, we helped derail the free trade area of the Americas in 2005. We exposed the plans of the formation of the North American Union through President Bush's Security and Prosperity Partnership. And we've been covering the TPA, TPP, and TTIP for nearly 2 years through the New American Magazine. While many in the media have already established that free trade agreements are pretty much a done deal, we disagree, for we know what it's like to be outnumbered, but still pull out a win. So now that TPA has passed, be sure to contact your congressman and let them know what you think of their vote, whether it was good or bad. And then let them know how to vote, or what you want them to vote against the TPP and the TTIP. Then in order to ensure you are staying informed, go to the video description and use the links to sign up for our free weekly newsletter, get a subscription to the New American Magazine, and sign up for our Trade Alert text service. And speaking of the New American Magazine, we have a new promotional deal for purchasing gift subscriptions. Just purchase a gift subscription, a digital gift subscription, at $15, and each additional digital gift sub is $10. It's the best deal we've had so far on our digital subscription rates. Again, just follow the link in the video description. Also, our next issue of the magazine comes out later this week for digital subscribers and the following week for print subscribers. That issue will be our Freedom Index issue. For those of you not familiar with the Freedom Index, it is our rating of how well each member of Congress has adhered to the Constitution based on select votes they have cast. Unlike many other scorecards from other organizations, we always show you the votes as well as how we calculated the Freedom Index scores. Since this is our first rating of the current Congress, there are only 10 votes that their scores are based on. A cumulative index is based on our website, or I should say a cumulative index is available on our website that stretches back to 1999. So go to thenewamerican.com and click on Voting Index. Share these ratings with your congressman as well as others in your congressional district. Be sure to suggest that they also contact the congressman to let them know the votes they got right and the votes they got wrong. Explain to them why they are wrong too. Next week we'll have an alert you can use to do just this. Look for it at jbs.org at the Act Now section. This is part of our responsibility to keep our elected officials accountable. Now in the meantime, don't get too discouraged with the poor news from last week. Use it as an opportunity to look to the Constitution for solutions and to move ahead. Until next week, we'll see you then.